Today we got a question from Jackson, who's an MMA fighter, does some kickboxing, and he's doing jiu-jitsu. And he says that he's able, because he's really tall and lanky, he's able to get people locked up in the triangle. He pulls on the head, tries to finish them, but he, for some reason, can't finish it. And so he sends me the message to see if I have any ideas on finishing a triangle. So Jackson, I'm going to give you some tips, and anybody else that's interested, I'm going to give you some tips on finishing your triangle. If you can get the triangle locked up, I'll give you some of the best tips that I have, and also some of the ones I've learned from some of my long, lanky students who use this stuff in competition. So hopefully this helps you. As always, this is my lovely assistant, Mr. Adam Wilson. Let's get started. All right, Jackson. So in your profile, when you sent me the message, you said you're like 6'6", so you're super tall. I'm not that tall, but again, I have some students that are pretty tall, especially for their weight categories. And we've sort of troubleshooted the triangle before, and so I have some ideas to share with you, and we'll go through it. And again, I'll go through the details fairly quickly, and if you want to go through and watch them again, go through the video and watch it again, but I'll keep that in mind. So let's go and jump into them. So we got a triangle set. You're catching the triangle, okay? So from here, let's talk about a few things about how the triangle works, right? The triangle, we have pressure going into the carotid with this hamstring, and then we're creating pressure on this side where it's pushing the shoulder into this carotid, right? And there we get this pinching pressure that then cuts off the circulation a little bit or puts enough pressure on the carotid to get them to go to sleep, right? That's the idea. So assuming that we're getting here, we always have to make sure the arm is across, so this way that this shoulder's in position. There are ways to finish the triangle without having that arm exactly where that is, but again, ideally we have that in there. That's kind of a textbook triangle for us, right? Okay, from here, I like to have the leg that's locking down over top of the neck. I call it the hammer leg. I like to have the hammer leg right over top of the shoulders in the back of the neck. If you look over here, notice it's right over top of the back of the neck and the shoulders, opposed to letting it sit over here where maybe it's not quite. This is fine as far as catching initially, and then you can work your way up, but I like to have this hammer leg right over top. Now here's another detail. You're super long, okay? I'm not, but this is something that I find really important. I do not want to lock the triangle personally over top of my foot, even if I have to. I would rather go always over top of my ankle, and with my hammer leg, I keep my foot flexed, and my locking leg, the one that goes over top, I'll lock it right here. Even if for some reason I can't get the full depth of the triangle with that ambulance. Even if I can't get the full depth with the knee, behind the knee there, I'll still go here. And the reason why, take a look at this right here, is in this position here, I'm trying to close the space inside this triangle lock, right? So from here, it doesn't really matter if I'm here or from here. What I really focus on is getting this locked in tight and then pinching or kicking the heel out with the locking leg and then using this hamstring to finish, right? Instead of trying to pinch my knees together. So right here, working this up, and even if I can't quite get it in all the way, kicking the heel out and then using that hamstring to finish. And again, I would be pulling on the head and all that other stuff, right? Now here's one thing that I saw from one of my guys recently, Matt, who he has an amazing triangle and he gets a lot of guys in it. And he had a grappling match with an MMA fighter who he put the guy in a triangle like first like 30 seconds, and the dude was stuck there for several minutes and he couldn't quite finish him. And then this past weekend, he had another situation where he went against another MMA fighter, did the triangle, he had him done in like a few minutes, right? He won the match and made some adjustments to it. So here's what we focused on. Matt would get the triangle, and again, he hid the shoulder here, which is smart, right? Notice that like when I'm here, I'm not locking here. I'm hiding the shoulder, so basically my hamstring is gonna scrape across his forehead. That's a really good detail that he finds important. But we wanted to get off at an angle because he sat there last time, was pulling on the head, pulling, couldn't quite finish him here. So what we did, let's turn this way at him. A little more right there. Just got him hooking underneath of this arm here, this forearm. One, this arm will a lot of times try to come in and start to fight and do different stuff. So by grabbing it over top of my neck here, I stop that, okay? Also, there's some attacks here. I can attack an arm lock here, like a straight arm lock. There's even some wrist locks here. And it makes it really strong because now we have a super strong angle to finish from where we can attack the head and the arm at the same time. Now, one of my students that's sitting over there when we started recording this video, he was like, Chewy, do you prefer the arm or do you prefer the leg? And let's come this way just a bit more. I prefer the leg if he stands. So if he's getting ready to stand up inside my triangle, I'm gonna hook underneath of the leg here as tight as I can to stop him from being able to slam me. But assuming that he's down on the ground, I'll just go after the arm here. And again, this opens up the choke, arm locks on this side, and even arm locks on this side. Those are some tips for you, bro. Again, super tall, so the triangle is gonna be your thing, bro. It's gonna be one of your better positions with that kind of reach. So what I would say is go back and watch this video of any of those tips. If you're not implementing every single one of those, then I would do that. Try to put those into the mix with your triangle finishes. And then if for some reason, if you already do all of those things, which I'm sure you're missing at least one of those, if you're already doing all of those things and you're not getting triangle finish, then I suggest you look down in the links below. I have a buddy of mine, Chad, who has one of the best triangles I've ever felt and seen, and you can go message him and see if he's got some details to share with you as well. So that said, I'm finished. Adam?
Adam.